Have you ever wondered why the sky looks blue during the day but changes color during sunrise and sunset? Today, let's explore the fascinating science behind the color of our sky. You might think that the sky is blue because there's lots of blue stuff up there, like the ocean or the leaves on trees. But it's actually much more interesting than that. Let's start with a simple observation. Have you ever noticed that sunlight might look white, but it's actually made up of many colors, like a rainbow? When sunlight passes through a prism, it separates into a band of colors because different wavelengths of light bend at slightly different angles. And this is pretty easy to demonstrate. Here we're using a CD to split light from a laser into a rainbow. So it's clear that sunlight contains all the colors of the rainbow, but how does that explain why the sky is blue? Well, let's do a thought experiment. Imagine a beam of sunlight passing through a vacuum, like in outer space. Since there's nothing to interact with the light, it would just keep going in a straight line. Now imagine that same beam passing through Earth's atmosphere, which is mostly made of nitrogen and oxygen molecules. Because the molecules are so small, they act like tiny mirrors, bouncing the light in all directions. This process is called Rayleigh scattering. But here's the key. Different colors of light are affected differently by these collisions. To understand why, let's look at a single air molecule. It's made up of even smaller particles like oxygen atoms. When a photon of light hits an atom, it can be absorbed and re-emitted in a random direction. So the atom acts like a tiny mirror. But there's also a slight delay between when the photon is absorbed and re-emitted. This means the re-emitted light is less energetic, or has a longer wavelength than the original. In other words, the light is shifted towards the red end of the spectrum. So, what happens to blue light? Well, it turns out that the shorter the wavelength of light, the more it gets affected by air molecules. For every 1% increase in distance through the atmosphere, blue light gets about 3 times more scattered than red light. That makes sense if you think about it. A tiny air molecule is about the same size as the short wavelength blue light, but much larger than the long wavelength red light. It's like trying to hit a small target with a large dart. Now remember that sunlight is made up of all colors of light, not just red and blue. So when it enters the atmosphere, all those colors get scattered by the air molecules. Because blue and violet light get scattered the most, they bounce out of the atmosphere and away from us, leaving the longer wavelengths like red and yellow in our sky. But there's one more thing. Our eyes are more sensitive to blue than violet, so the sky appears blue rather than violet. If you were to create a scale of how well we see different colors of light, it would look something like this. Red light is the easiest to see, followed by orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and finally violet. So, while violet light is scattered more than blue, we can't see it as well, so it doesn't contribute as much to the overall color of the sky. What about at sunrise and sunset? During those times, the sun is low on the horizon, so the light has to travel through more of the atmosphere to reach our eyes. Most of the blue light gets scattered away, leaving us with the beautiful reds and oranges that we see in a clear sky. So the next time you look up at the sky, remember it's not just a pretty color, it's physics in action. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing Science Explained. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you next time.